Two people have died after two firefighting helicopters collided in Greece.
An Australian helicopter has collided with another firefighting chopper in Greece, killing both crew members on board.
On a Sunday afternoon in Greece, two helicopters were working a wildfire together. Flying close, coordinating water drops over an active fire front west of Athens. The way firefighting crews have done every summer for years. It is one of the most dangerous kinds of flying in the world. The smoke obscures visibility. The heat rises in unpredictable columns. The aircraft have to stay low to be effective. And when two of them are working the same stretch of fire at the same time, the margin between precise coordination and catastrophe is very small. Shortly after 4 in the afternoon on August 2nd, that margin disappeared. Bystander video captured what happened next. One helicopter's rotor blade struck the underside of the other. Both aircraft were immediately in crisis. One fell into a ravine. One managed to reach a road. 2 people are dead. 2 people are alive. And all 4 of them had chosen to fly toward a fire that most people were running away from. This is the story of what happened above the hills near Psatha on the deadliest afternoon of Greece's 2026 fire season. Shortly after 1600 local time on August 2nd, 2 Bell helicopters were working a wildfire near Psatha in the Attica region, approximately 65 kilometers west of Athens. Both aircraft had taken off from Elefsina Air Base. Both were part of the aerial firefighting operation deployed to contain a large fire that had been burning along the Attica-Boeotia border since Friday. The fire had started near Agios Vasileios and swept toward Porto Germano, driving into the forested mountains west of the Greek capital under strong winds that were making every flight that day more demanding than usual. The helicopters were working the fire front together, coordinating, making water drops over the same burning terrain. Then, one aircraft struck the other. Bystander video shows the moment of contact. One helicopter's rotor strikes the underside of the second aircraft. The collision is brief and catastrophic. Within seconds, both crews are managing situations from which not everyone comes back. The first helicopter came down in a ravine. Emergency personnel and firefighters already deployed in the area around Psatha launched an immediate search. When they found the aircraft and reached its 2 crew members, both showed no signs of consciousness. They were transported to hospital, where they were pronounced dead. A Danish pilot and a Greek fire service air coordinator. The second helicopter remained airborne long enough for its pilot to make a decision. He released the aircraft's water load and brought the damaged machine down onto a road. Both crew members exited the aircraft before the fuel ignited. A British pilot and a second Greek coordinator survived with minor injuries and were taken to hospital for treatment. Quick pause before we go further. If you want to support this channel on YouTube, the Join button is right below the video. Channel members get early access to extended breakdowns and behind-the-scenes notes on every case we cover. It directly helps us keep doing this work. Hit Join if you want to be part of it. Now, back to who these 4 people were. To understand who these 4 people were, you have to understand what it means to be an aerial firefighting crew. These are not the pilots who carry passengers between airports. They are not flying a familiar route in favorable conditions. Aerial firefighting crews fly toward the most hazardous possible combination of smoke, heat, terrain, and unpredictability. They operate at low altitude over active fire fronts. They navigate airspace shared with other aircraft doing the same work at the same time. They make water drops in conditions that commercial pilots would refuse to enter. The Danish pilot who died had crossed borders to fight someone else's fire. He was operating in Greece, far from home, as part of a contracted aerial firefighting deployment in a country that has become one of Europe's most active fire zones. The Greek coordinator beside him was part of the fire service infrastructure that guides aircraft during operations, serving as the critical link between the helicopter and the ground teams below. The British pilot who landed on the road was doing the same job in the other aircraft. So was the Greek coordinator beside him. All four of them had made the same choice: to fly into a fire that had already been burning for 2 days under the conditions described. Greece's Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis called the loss of the Greek coordinator and the Danish pilot a tragedy for everyone fighting in the front lines of what he described as war against the fires under extremely adverse weather conditions, especially for aerial assets. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said it plainly: it takes a special courage to fly towards the flames. Both helicopters were Bell 214 series machines operated by McDermott Aviation, an Australian company based on the Sunshine Coast that runs the world's largest fleet of this type. The Bell 214 is a heavy-lift helicopter built for exactly this kind of work. The 214 ST variant is called the Super Transporter. The 214B is known as the Big Lifter. They are not nimble scout helicopters. They are workhorses, capable of carrying large quantities of water for drop operations over firefronts. The 2026 Greek fire season was McDermott Aviation's 7th consecutive year of operations in the country. For this season, they deployed 15 helicopters across bases from the Greek mainland to Crete and Rhodes. The 2 aircraft at Psatha were leased by the Hellenic Fire Service as part of that deployment. Following the collision, Greek authorities grounded the Bell helicopters operating in the area, pending the investigation. Nearly 500 firefighters and 23 aircraft had been deployed to fight the fire near Athens. Strong winds had limited the ability of aircraft to draw water from the sea, adding to the operational pressure on crews and increasing the number of passes each aircraft needed to make over the firefront. This investigation is still in its opening hours. We are covering it from the confirmed facts only. When the findings come in, we will be back with the full breakdown. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you are here when that drops. The wildfire near Porto Germino had been burning since Friday. It had spread into the forested mountains west of Athens, cutting off coastal communities when fire and smoke blocked the roads that normally connect them to the rest of the region. 254 people were evacuated by sea on Friday, 12 more on Saturday. For those communities, the boats were the only way out. The fire was not the only one burning. At least 38 agricultural and forest fires were reported across Greece between August 1st and 2nd. More than 10 suspected arsonists were arrested by Greek police in connection with different fires since July 31st. The week's wildfire death toll in Greece, including the 2 pilots killed in the collision, rose to 5. This is the backdrop against which the aerial firefighting operation at Psatha was running. Not a contained single emergency, but an entire country managing dozens of simultaneous fires. The helicopters working the Porto Germino area were doing so in a wind-driven environment where the margins for error were already at their minimum. Aerial firefighting deaths are not common, but they are not rare either. Europe's 2026 fire season entered the summer already shaped by what came before it. The continent burned more than 3,860 square miles in 2025, the worst fire year on record. Europe is the world's fastest warming continent, having warmed more than twice the global average since the 1980s. The fires that are now a fixture of the southern European summer are burning larger, moving faster, and resisting control more effectively than the infrastructure built to fight them was designed to manage. The helicopters at Psatha on August 2nd were part of that infrastructure. The crews inside them were contractors from 3 different countries, holding a fire line while the wildfires burned and the winds did not stop. 2 of them did not come home. The investigation into what caused the rotor strike, how the 2 aircraft came to occupy the same piece of airspace at the same moment, and what, if anything, could prevent it from happening again, is now underway. The Bystander video that captured the collision will be one of the clearest pieces of evidence investigators have to work with. A Danish pilot and a Greek fire service coordinator are dead. A British pilot and a Greek coordinator are in hospital with minor injuries. The surviving British pilot brought a damaged helicopter down on a road and got both himself and his colleague out before the aircraft caught fire. The fire near Porto Germino is still burning. Investigations into both the cause of the collision and the broader wildfire response are ongoing. We will follow this story as it develops. If you want to understand more about how aerial firefighting works, what makes it as dangerous as it is, and what the investigation into a mid-air collision like this one involves, subscribe and turn on notifications. When more confirmed information becomes available, we will come back to it. Tell us in the comments, did you know that aerial firefighting pilots were contracted from different countries and deployed across Greece this way? Does that change how you think about what happens in the sky above European wildfires every summer? We will see you in the next one.